One thing that I'm really tired of is people's lack of will to understand one another. I know that, not everything is easy to understand. I know some people aren't easy to get to know, but a lot of times it's not that difficult to understand somebody if you'll just sit down, be quiet, and let them talk and really get to know them and listen to what they're saying and really communicate. I think that most of the misunderstandings that go on in society and things are because people don't really listen. They hear, but they don't listen. They comprehend, but they don't feel it. They don't feel what people are saying. They don't take it in. It goes straight through. I don't think that that's fair, because the little things that people might ignore are big cues into how people are sometimes. Especially, with people who are neurodivergent and things, we express ourselves a bit differently. But a lot of times, if you spend a lot of time with us and you listen to what we say and listen to our explanations rather than trying to make us stop doing something that we can't help, you can understand a little bit better, or a lot better actually, and at least learn to accept neurodivergent traits that can't be stopped. And I'm tired of people being unkind because people are different. I mean, why should you fucking care if someone acts a bit strange around you, or weird in general, or who is weird socially, or who doesn't look you in the eye? It's, you know what, man, you're not entitled to somebody holding their gaze with you. It scares a lot of people. It unnerves people with neurodivergence. So you have to just don't demand something that you're not due. And another thing that really pisses me off is when people stim in public. People gotta gawk. Why can't you just let people be? So they make noise. Whoopee. They might startle you by accident because of a loud sound. But just look, be like, what the fuck was that? And then move on with your day. You don't have to make a goddamn spectacle, because I guarantee they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to draw attention to themselves. It's embarrassing when you have a vocal stim and you can't help it. But it shouldn't be, because people have a plethora of information about neurodivergence and things like that at their fingertips. They should be able to understand if they have any contact with younger people. I get it. And I grew up in a time when people didn't talk about mental disorders. People didn't talk about being autistic. They just didn't. And people's way of treating ADHD was to drug you to hell. Like Ritalin and Adderall and things like that. They're essentially speed. They're just one molecule away from being speed. And that's not healthy for most kids. I know some people need medication to concentrate, and that's fine. But not every hyperactive kid, not every neurodivergent kid needs some pill jammed down their throat. Because there are higher functioning and lower functioning. It all depends. But a lot of times, if you work with kids in school, whether they're, nonverbal or whatever, it's not impossible. And, I wish that people wouldn't be like, why don't you fucking sit still or something? When people rock or they do something with their hands. You want to know why I wring my hands? Because it's a stim. It's something I can't help. And it's a nervous tick. And it doesn't, make me a weirdo. I'm just different. And rocking is fine. People don't want to, want to say that I'm crazy because I'm different. Neurodivergent doesn't mean you're crazy. It's not crazy. You're just being ignorant and an ass and telling people and judging people without knowing their circumstances. Maybe if you would open your fucking ears and mind, you would understand that people should be allowed to be eccentric and different without your verbal abuse. That's very much bullshit. So what? Somebody's a little bit strange. You don't have to point that out. People with neurodivergent conditions can be a little quote-unquote strange because we're not neurotypical. We're not typical. We're different. We're divergent, you know? Divergent means away from. Not like. So why don't you stop trying to make different people try to fit in with your normality, because that doesn't exist for us. You can't just not do something when it causes you serious mental stress, when it's something you can't control. Then you can literally not control your emotions properly. You cannot regulate your emotions properly. It's cheated to say you're too sensitive. Yes, I'm sensitive. I'm very sensitive because of the way my fucking brain works. Don't be crass. Now, quite frankly, so what if someone is sensitive? Accommodate them. Be a little bit, empathetic and kind. People don't have to be so mean to one another because somebody cries or something, or freezes up in certain situations, or stutters and stammers. I just, it sucks. And getting angry because somebody can't read your body language is very rude, very cruel. My ex used to do things like that. Like, I would explain to him, I don't know that you're annoyed. I don't know if you're annoyed unless you tell me. I don't understand body language. And it's humiliating and embarrassing when you scream at someone and say, be quiet! Or say, why don't you be quiet? Or, oh God, shut up. Be gentle about it, because most of the time, neurodivergent people don't realize when they're being annoying. They don't know. It's an inability. It is a disability of being able to process things normally, which means you cannot perceive body language. You have to be told, I have to be told directly, and sometimes explicitly, because I don't understand it. And I hate when people are so impatient when it comes to it. Is it really so hard to be kind to somebody? Yes, it might be a little inconvenient for you, but for people who live with the neurodivergent conditions, it's our life. We live with it. And when somebody acts or doesn't acts pissed off about it or annoyed or something, it's really embarrassing. And when we make mistakes and we realize we make those big social mistakes, it's very embarrassing and humiliating, and it strikes up anxiety. That's why people mask, because everybody in the world isn't willing to learn how to understand and be kind to one another. That is the main problem. Is people are so caught up in their own shit that they forget that other people around them are human beings going through problems just like them. And that maybe, they act a little bit off because they are off. And it doesn't mean you have the right to treat people like that people have the right to treat each other like shit. This is, fucking 2023. People need to start understanding neurodivergence much better than they do. Yes, there are people who really do understand it, but older people, younger people, people who don't understand. There's really, with the amount of information that's out there, there's no excuse to be so ignorant. And even if you don't understand, it's not that much to be fucking kind. Just remember that. Be kind to people, even if they're different, because people sometimes are different because they're very sensitive and easily hurt, and they're easily hurt. Because chances are they've been bullied their whole damn life for being different. So why chime in on that? Why traumatize people more? Like, I just don't know why people think that that's okay. So, yeah, I know this might be a little all over the place or whatever, but it's just things that really piss me off. As a neurodivergent person, I've lived with this shit my whole fucking life. It's hard. Anyway, thanks for watching, and for those of you who are understanding, thank you for being nice. Those of you who are yelling and not being patient, it'd be like, yeah, fuck shit. You need to educate yourself and be kind to other people, because you would hate it like hell if somebody treated you bad. Remember that. Remember that what comes around goes around. Anywho, thanks for watching.